Oh, hello, hello. Hi, guys. How are you? Good evening. I was supposed to do a Zoom with a public school today, a middle school, and they wanted me to talk about juvenile diabetes and dialysis and stuff in the youth and the teens and the adolescents. So I thought it was a deep thing because all the research I was doing with it like blew my mind. It upset me. I just wanted to do more for the kids and the youth. I always did. It's just that you know, I love the adults, and I'm glad that we're helping the grown-ups and the seniors and everybody else. But the youth really need help with their diabetes. They need help with dialysis and stuff like that. I hear it's a traumatic thing for them. I know it's hard for them. Sometimes they get ostracized. Sometimes they hide the fact that they're ill or going through it, and they got some great friends to help them sometimes and support, and sometimes they got people being rough, mean, and insensitive. So whatever it is, I hope this little bit or tidbit that I did research on will help in some way. I have done research on so many different things that I think that's helpful. I learned about more resources and scholarships, and I said I didn't want to combine them together because this is like a baby by itself that needs to be talked about. This is the flyer. Thank you, Greta Nathaniel, for having me with your school, on your school. I've done so many workshops with her at her school. This is the flyer she made. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that nice? Yes, yes. I don't know what happened to my equipment. I had brought my laptop from work, and I brought my had my personal laptop, my cell phone, everything, but that thing would not let me in. It rejected me about at least 100 times. I don't know, but we tried to the end. Oh, see my shirt with all of my books on it. Woo, woo, yeah. Okay. I don't know. This thing goes dark and light. I don't know what's going on with it, but we're going to get with it and get right into it. Not keeping you long or anything like that, but it's supposed to be a talk. So I'm having a talk with you guys, and I got my little cards here, and I got my papers here in blue and in white, and I wish y'all could have saw the yellow ones I had too. I had some yellow papers as well. Okay, but anywho, okay. Okay, kidney talk and juvenile diabetes parent workshop. That's what it was going to be for tonight. Well, anywho, juvenile diabetes. Okay, it's not clear of what causes it. Okay, but the immune system and the genes play a role in this. Okay, um, type 1 diabetes is usually dependent on using insulin. Okay, type 1 diabetes. Type 2 can be improved or changed because through medication, through diet, through exercise, and working with your doctor and team. So, one and you got two, type 1 and type 2. And I know when they talk about children, like a lot of them have type 1, but I've got some statistics to tell you who got what and when they got it and things of that nature and from different years. Okay, let me go with it. Okay, insulin dependency. Okay, they say if you have a person in the family with type 1 diabetes, that can cause a personal risk to you. Okay, um, we also know that diabetes is the number one reason for people to get on dialysis, right? But they say for children or a child that goes on dialysis, it's a bridge for them to get a transplant. It's not to stick and stay on like some people, like some older adults or adults, period. But with the children, that's one of the rules for them. I thought that was beautiful. Not let them linger on to that and hold on to that. Dialysis can be tough and rough. If you didn't know, look it up, read a book, talk to your family that's dealing with it, a friend. You can see it up close and personal. Type 2 diabetes is when the body cannot use insulin correctly. and the sugar builds up in the blood. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. It's not an autoimmune disorder. Type 2 is not an autoimmune disorder. Type 1 is. Okay. And obesity can be a risk factor as well. And I'll give you some more risk factors. When you are diabetic or dealing with diabetes, okay, the symptoms you thirsty and you're hungry. So that may increase. All right. You urinating more often. I know they said that children that never wet the bed uh, probably would start wetting the bed, and the baby pamper would be soaked. I can't believe a baby with diabetes. I don't. Okay. Also, you have unexpected weight loss. Okay, and fatigue. All right, and blurry vision. Okay. In 2021, 352,000 children and adolescents in the U.S. under 20 years of age was diagnosed with diabetes. And this strange sentence, I'm going to say it to you: 35% per 10,000 youth, okay, they had type 1 diabetes, and they had type 1 diabetes, and it was 304,000 of them. Okay? It killed me when they go per this and per that, per 10,000, per, and everything like that. But I know this is what happened in 2021. Okay? And those are some of the symptoms. Okay. When you're trying to treat diabetes, they, after like, they say that it's hard for a child, but a lot of times, the children get support or supportive. After a while, they learn to deal with this. They'll learn to deal with dialysis as well. Sometimes, it becomes a shock, but they'll the family and them will work into it. That's what the research say. That's what the information says, and things of that nature. But the treatment and the solutions, they say you should get an endocrinologist. I hope I am saying that right. That specialize in type 1 diabetes. I hear that the endocrinologists, not only specialize in type 1, they also specialize with hormones and stuff. And you should see him or her regularly. Yes, that's a specialist, a doctor, a specialist. Okay, they said you need to get a auto antibody test if you have any siblings or children or parents with type 1 diabetes. Okay, and what I couldn't believe, they said instead of the insulin pen, even though I hear in schools, the school nurse can give you a shot, I heard, you know. And I know when I worked in a school, but it was a daycare and a Head Start program, we couldn't do a lot of things to the children, but with the EpiPen in there, we had to all learn how to use it to help the child. But in this case, they got a pen for insulin, a pen for people with diabetes, and it's disposable. Who knew about that? I know I didn't know. So it's new to me, y'all. So if y'all knew it, hats off to you. But a sister just found out. All right. They also got a pump with a catheter, okay, and a tube that also gives you medication. That's for the kids as well. And they got this thing that I still didn't know about. It's an inhaler by Afiza. All right. It's a rapid acting inhaler. Picture that. You having an issue or a problem with your diabetes, and throw that thing zoop zoop like you got asthma or something. Whoop zoop. I couldn't believe the whole thing, but I think it's spot on. I ain't mad at him. Child, if I could get the event on the Lisa Baxter show, I would have him up here. You hear me? Or her. Or the team. How about that? I like teams because it makes teamwork to make the dream work. Okay, now, also a dietitian and a nutritionist to help you change your diet or improve on your diet. That's always good. Exercise, okay? Join the gym, walk. You know what I mean? If you're exercising, make sure you clear stuff with your doctor. He might say it's all right, but let him say it. Don't say I said it. But exercise supposed to be good for us, even the ones that we do in the chair, in home, or at home, outside, or wherever we're doing it. But get your permission. And this is another thing, little tidbit I heard. During pregnancy and puberty, you need a larger dose of insulin. Who knew about that? Raise your hand. Like you're in school. I had no idea, but that's very interesting. I mean, the papers and stuff that I got so much paper. And I got some other papers. I don't know. I must have put them over here. I got so much to tell you. And I'm too excited. And I jotted some down so I wouldn't be too much for the parents that I was presenting tonight. I may have to go back in person or do this again on another different Zoom for them. All right. So after you dealing with your diabetes, the child dealing with the diabetes, the parents is trying to help them with it. After a certain time and age, you have to show them how to manage it themselves as well. You know what I mean? And I was like, manage it themselves. I guess after a while, like any other thing you manage, they'll say, take your inhale or let you put your coat on. I guess that's what how parents are with that type of job, and you love your loved ones, okay? But mm-mm-mm. All right. Now, you done went from diabetes to dialysis. Once diabetes goes sky high, you are graduated to dialysis, and it's not a death sentence, it's a life sentence. You just got to know how to live with it, deal with it, and your family has to help you deal with it as well, whether it's a child or an adult. Okay, so we know diabetes is the number one. Kidney disease. My dad had polycystic kidney disease. I had polycystic kidney disease. And my story with my six siblings on dialysis, two aunts, an uncle, mother-in-law, and now two nephews and a niece, Shonda. All right, so over-the-counter medications can hurt you. Ibuprofen, Aleve, Advil, okay? Injury to the kidney failure, even prescription drugs can hurt you. I'm surprised to see this prescription drug that say can cause death. Now, how you gonna give me something that's gonna cause death? It have all of these things, and then right there it says can cause death. Who wanna take that? I had more than one say that. I'm like, what? Koboshe. You know what I mean? So high blood pressure and diabetes. Out of control, dialysis. It equals dialysis. So keep that under control. Do what you know you got to do. Children, youth, parents, people, seniors, community, health community, kidney community. All right. Risk factors. Obesity. All right. I've been too unchanged myself for like 8 years. I caught my husband that size. But when it comes to health, you know the size and the pounds you ought to be. Try to get there. I ain't saying it's easy, trust me. Sometimes it fell off if I had a cold, but when I was running, jumping, and all of that, nothing fell off. I mean, some ounces fell off. It wasn't no pounds. All right? So do what you can, do the best you can. Everybody can or don't want to do an operation to lose the weight, and everybody don't want to, do certain things to lose weight. Sometimes you got to do the natural thing or the regular thing or the normal thing, and no surgeries and stuff like that. If your doctor says that and you agree, it's up to you now. I'm not gonna say do it, not to do it. You know your body, you know your situation, you know what you can afford, you know what kind of insurance you got, you know the story, you know the drill. But I care about the kids, I care about the youth. That's the last thing they need is to deal with illness and sickness after already dealing with puberty and growing up and voice changing and stuff like that, and learning about stuff in life and things like that, and learn how to be responsible, pick a college, pick a school or whatever, or going out just with some friends to be ill and have to deal with the illness. It can be frightening and scary for them. They say devastating. All right, factors: obesity, smoking, put that cigarette down, drinking. All right, street drugs. You know it all. Watch that. I know some things relax you, some things may keep you cool, or what have you, whatever it do for you, but you don't want anything to cause your death. You don't want anything to harm yourself or your body and your family, and I would miss you. So cut it out. Don't do it. Bye-bye. All right. Dialysis can be traumatic experience for an adolescent, but they can still have an active life with support. With support, yes. Children on dialysis may need dietary restrictions and nutrition supplements. I know as an adult, we had a lot of restrictions with water, and stuff like that, and potassium with, the potatoes and stuff, and soak it. There were rules to living with this. So I'm sure with a child, it has to be rules, and it's hard to remember all that stuff all the time. But it becomes like a routine. And kids are so smart, and as Montessori would say, soak it up like a sponge from early. They can soak it up. They can learn. You'd be surprised. They can teach you a few things. I've seen some be smart, be genius-like. Everybody ain't acting up. Some of our youth is really great and good. My hat's off to them. Okay. Dialysis is an artificial kidney that it's where it cleans your blood, it removes toxins and waste and fluids. It does so much more. But a kidney in your body for 24 hours. So when you skip dialysis, whether you're a young person or any age, you know that's going to be some repercussions when you skip. You might feel good now, but it's not going to always be that way. Things change. You know what I mean? When you have to get on it, those symptoms and everything, that itching, that scratching, feeling sick, nauseated, foamy urine, all of that, you know what I mean? Sticky feces, them Charlie horses and stuff like that. Mmm. Those things aren't a good feeling at all. A metallic taste in your mouth, nauseated, throwing up. Come on. You don't want that. You don't want it. Mm-mm. In 2024 adults, there were 519,000 people on dialysis. Hmm. You got your peritoneal PD dialysis. You got your hemodialysis. They can the hemodialysis can be done at the center, and it can also be done in your home. You got to get some plumbing change. Unless you got a next stage machine, you can do a little something else. All right, you know. And peritoneal, I had two siblings dealing with peritoneal and in center, and they had a little thing near the navel, in their stomach, next to the navel, and that was deep. Okay. You got your fistulas. All right, you got grafts. All right, you got your catheters. I had one right here in my chest. I had something over here in the neck, kind of thing. You got the thing in the groin area. That was another thing hanging out. You only can have that one in the hospital. So more statistics. In 2021, 5,500 children in the U.S. had end-stage renal disease. They are the ones that received treatment. All right, and 73 cases per million were 0.17 years of age. Wow, I'm telling you the truth. Kidney disease is a growing problem, and it affects 1 in 7 adults. My God, my God. Symptoms, okay. Like I said, metallic taste in the mouth, nausea, vomiting, you're tired. All right, bloodshot eyes. You know how you look like you're drinking human drink. Dark skin or pale looking. You ever see the pale looking or even gray looking? Sticky feces, foamy urine. Mm-mm-mm. Don't be skipping that dialysis. You need your treatment. That's right. All right. Now, the treatments for when your kidneys fail is either dialysis or a transplant. And a transplant is when a person give you a kidney. You have to get on a list. You have to do a lot of tests to get on the list. You have to take a lot of medicine once you even have the transplant. Okay, but it's doable. I've been on both. I've been on dialysis and I have my transplant, which I call Hannah, and Hannah is doing well. Some of the prevention things I would say is know your family history. I could never say that enough. Sometimes you don't know what's going on in your family, and they got some of this, that, and the other going on. Know it. Talk about it. Discuss it. I know sometimes some things are secret and it stays in the family, and what stays in Vegas is in Vegas and all that junk. Listen, we talking about your health, life, health, and strength right in here. Yes, yes. Okay, high blood pressure and diabetes, please keep that under control. Take your medicine, do whatever you got to do. Your nephrologist, that's a kidney doctor, all right? Get tight with them. Know your team, work with your team. Let your team know each other. Yes, I told my dentist who the doctor who the dentist was. All right, the GYN who was. I told them all so they can all connect because they got Lisa in common, all right? So all your doctors got you in common. So remember that, whether it's your child, whether it's you, it's good for a family to be involved in the health. So it'll make the person stay in line and feel loved and feel like they cared about, especially kids, y'all. Come on. Let's do our thing for our children. You know. I'm an ambassador of what you know, polycystic kidney disease, the end stage renal, AAKP, NKF, AKF, DPC, UNOS. Yeah, yeah, I'm an ambassador with all of them because I love the knowledge that they teach. I love the things that they do, the activities and the learning and the education and the support groups. Get in one of those groups, not just on Facebook. Some of these things are local. Go take a visit over there. That's right. All right, let me see now. This was for them. Kids sometimes they get really scared and then they get nervous and they hide what's wrong with them sometimes. And sometimes their friend might not know. So please, and this was my question for them. I'm gonna make you guys laugh. I don't know if y'all can answer it or not, but even though I got a little more information, but children on dialysis, what did they say with the plan? Because I told you schools have to have a plan from the parent. It's very important that they have a plan in place if the child is diabetic or if the child is on dialysis. And a lot of the kids that deal with peritoneal go to school more often than the ones on dialysis, from what the research was telling me and what I was reading. You know what I'm saying? But the answer was that they said any children that's on dialysis is not to be on dialysis. It's a bridge for them to get a transplant. So that's the answer I wanted from the parents, right? And what was the number one cause, which we know is diabetes. And that was another question. And if they're looking at this, they're going to know all the answers. Yes, they are. They're going to know the answers. So let me see. And what I wanted to do, since I was talking to parents and what have you, I had a resource. Let me see. This is resources for the youth. And these resources is not just sick resources, and when I say sick, I mean things to help them with illness. This is to help them with saving money, banking, all right? Youth employment resources if they like to cook. You know what I mean? And they wanted those skills to cook, or if they're dealing with bullying or anything like that, or they wanted to deal with film and wanted information about a film or filming or being into that type of life. I got Covenant House down here, Family Dynamics, Citibank, Chase Bank. They have good savings for the youth and the kids. Safer Rising. BC Adolescent Employment and Education, Youth Employment. Let's see what else. Family, Youth, and Builders. That when I work with Catholic Charities, that's one of the things they did. It's called Family Youth with Builders. All right, and disability, Sydney, CINDY, with kids and youth with disabilities. You have children that's suicidal sometimes. You have children that maybe had a baby. You have children that may have dealing with different type of disabilities or want employment or training or staying home, whatever it is. I try to fit that in there. So I have child care in there if the person had a child. Okay, and Cornell University Extension have a nutrition program for the youth. Okay, a youth chef academy. Come on here. I can put it in the chat. You can email me and get it. You know what I mean? Or put it and I can send it to you or give it to you. For the parents and everything, the Arthritis Foundation, things about transportation, for kidney's sake, American Kidney Fund, Polycystic Kidney Disease Fund, okay, the colon cancer, the lung association. All right, I got Catholic Charities here. I got Rise Up East New York, you know. I got a little bit of everything. Brooklyn Disabilities and everything. Accessoride, okay. Able Ride, okay. Stat. Different types of rides, excuse me. Different types of rides, okay. The Dennis Blygen Kidney Foundation, okay. Home Base, all right. Come on, there's plenty of things here. You know, the Blind Association, okay. Yeah, yeah. And transplant support. There's plenty. And I want you to have everything to help yourself, help your family, help the youth. The kids need us. They need us in a big way. Okay? Diabetes is scary for them. Dialysis is scary for them. Help them establish a routine to help them with that diabetes and dialysis and being a teen. This thing talk about if they were on drugs, if they were drinking and they were on dialysis or have diabetes, the devastation and stuff can add to their frustration and fear and things like that and the stuff that they be thinking about. You know what I mean? Even they're thinking about sex and hormones and all that kind of stuff. You know, listen, I could be shy. I was shy as a child and a kid. You know what I mean? I was with my husband 23 years and I was still like this and all that. And he'd laugh and crack at me like, hun, you know what I mean? But, you know, I'll tell you the truth. Diabetes in schools. Remember, you got to let people know and let people help so it'll be a team to stay healthy. When to move on with your child with diabetes and self management, they say the age 16 to 18. Indeed. Helping older children move to diabetes and self care management. That is so interesting. Learning diabetes, self management, diabetes and your images, and eating disorder. Wow, this is deep. Teenagers with diabetes and driving. It talks about driving and alcohol and all kind of stuff. I couldn't get over the whole thing. Indirect risk of alcohol in teenagers with diabetes and stuff. Some things really don't mix. Some things make your medicine even worse when you had it, or take you some other level that you didn't want to go to or get. Where to get help, it says. Royal Children's Hospital is one. Mm. Diabetes Camp, Victoria. National Diabetes Services Schemes, NDSS. Wow. 1-800-637-700. Some of these numbers I don't know sometimes, but they also have websites as well. I thought that was beautiful and deep and very interesting. They talk about mental health with this because you got to get a hold of yourself. You know what I mean? Trust me. It ain't easy to get a hold of yourself. You know, you hear the news and you still shocked. It's still going over your head because you can't believe it. Not me. I don't got that. Not me. I ain't got to deal with that. Children get anxiety. They get fear. And they feeling different. You know, and they get embarrassed and they have difficulty coping with emotions, and the reactions of a friend or a family member. Remember that and keep that in mind. I remember when I went on dialysis, I said, "Oh my God, you so black." I said, "I need to hear that I was so black. I wasn't always that black, but did I need you to point it out? Did I?" The kids don't need that. Please be careful with them. You know what I mean? I got hard skin now. I got turtle skin, I think. But, before I was very sensitive and cried at the drop of a hat and a dime. Now, you know what I mean? God done healed me so many times and so many got me through and make me victorious and a warrior through so many illnesses. Transplant, dialysis, everything. And even when one of the medications gave me diabetes, I was very upset because I had never had diabetes until that. So, get it together. A school must be provided with both a diabetic action plan and a management plan. Don't forget that, parents. And if your kids is watching this, they just might tell you that's what you're supposed to get or have. You know, you got your social workers and stuff in the school and everything. What is that? Hypoglycemia. I don't eat on time. I get sick as a dog, get dizzy and everything. I've passed out before. Be careful with that, youth. Be careful with that. Okay? Please. We love you. We care about you. You are our future. We want good for you. We want you to be happy. We want you to be healthy. We want you to be educated about your illness. All right? So tell me what you think. Make me proud. And if I can help or give you a website or phone number or direct you in the right thing as being a health campaign manager and a social worker for 30 years, I would love to help you in any way that I can. And being a survivor myself, I'm just not a person talking. I'm somebody that's been through it. Okay? And I know you may be scared, young people. But we all are here for you. We care about you. We love you. And I hope this helps you or your parents or your caregiver in some way or somebody in your family. So they would know how to deal with you a whole lot better. They may be scared, they may run from you. I've had it all happen to me. Not talk to me scared and then overly treat me, make me, overwork and some work I couldn't do and some work I was able to do, but that's just my point. They don't know how to treat you and they feel fragile about you or nervous or turn on you in a good way just to make things turn differently for you in a positive way. But whatever it is, they love us all. So V for victory, health is wealth, sharing is caring. Share this broadcast, share this podcast, make us go viral. Not to make us rich, that I don't mind any money, I'm a widow, but but just so somebody can learn something, grab something, get encouraged, get a hold of something. Stay safe, stay well, stay strong, stay encouraged, stay healthy. And in the wintertime, stay warm. In the summertime, stay cool and go on vacation. Relax, live a little. Okay? Blessings and peace and strength and love. Shandong.